What's up, y'all? It's your girl Chi Chi, and I am going to be preparing some food for Thanksgiving. I have 4 pounds of yams in here, sweet potatoes or whatever. I'll be using sugar. I'll be using the Minute Maid orange juice in the can. I'll be using chopped pecans. I will be using marshmallows. I will be using the sweet potato and yam glaze. And I will be using dark brown sugar. And of course, water. These have already been washed and chopped. I like to chop them in thick squares, circles like this, because I don't really like for my stuff to be smushed. I kind of like for it to have like a little texture to it or whatever. And I don't know, I just like the roundness of it. I don't know, I'm lame. Anyways, so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some water, and you want to cover it. Well, not cover it, but make sure they're all submerged, because you know it's gonna cook down and it's kind of gonna absorb the water into the potatoes, so you don't want it to get too dry. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open this can and put this can of orange juice in here. And I like this because it adds some sweetness to it, but a little like acidity and twang to it. You know what I mean? Whoopsie! So I'm going to go ahead and pour in this Minute Maid orange juice. And it's almost like a puree, which I like. Next, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of 100% vanilla extract. Maybe 3. Next, I'm going to add a cup of syrup. And I'm going to stir it up. Once this starts to cook down a little bit, I'm going to add the brown sugar. And I'll be back. Okay, while that's cooking down, I'm going to go ahead and basically, I don't want to call it roast my pecans, but butter, and I'm going to put butter in the pan, let that cook down. Alright, so the butter's cooking down, and I'm going to go ahead and add my pecans because I don't like when my butter starts to burn. So I did turn it down a little bit. I'm preheat the oven to 250 because you don't want it to be too high. This is definitely not for the health conscious people because it is loaded with sugar and butter, but it tastes so good. I am about to add 1/4 cup of sugar. Kind of give it a glaze. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Alright, after I've added the sugar, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of brown sugar. My yams over there whistling. Putting this in the oven so that it can kind of dehydrate it a little bit, so it's not as oily from the butter. Alright, I'm putting the pecans in the oven. So those will cook for about 15-20 minutes. I'm gonna keep going back checking them out though. The yams are still cooking right now. They've been on here for maybe 15 minutes. I am about to dip out some of the water from here because the glaze calls for half a cup, but I never follow directions, so I'm going to go with 1 cup. And I got 2 packets of glaze, so I'm going to go with, yeah, I'm going to go with 2 cups of water. Well, I'm going to use the juice instead of regular water. So I'm going to go ahead and dip that out and put it away until I'm ready to use the glaze. While the sweet potatoes are cooking, I mixed 4 tablespoons of butter, 2 packs of the glaze, and then 2 cups of the water from the potato water. So now I'm just mixing it up. The butter acting like it don't want to melt, so I'll probably put this in the microwave. So anyway, you just stir this until it's completely mixed up. And then once the potatoes are nice and soft, you want to drain most of that water off of the potatoes. And then pour this glaze and stir until they're saturated and cook over low heat. And that's it. And then I will sprinkle the pecans over it. And then I'm going to put it in the refrigerator so it'll be ready for Thanksgiving. And then they can just microwave it. Anyways, be back. Peace. Okay, I'm back. I added the glaze. I only actually ended up adding a half a bowl of the glaze. And I added like another cup of brown sugar. And now I'm just kind of letting it reduce, like letting it cook down or whatever. After it cooks down, kind of soft, even more soft, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in a pan and let it bake a little bit. Just kind of bake out some of that the glaze and stuff. And then after that, I will be sprinkling the pecans. And then after that, which will be on Thanksgiving, I will go ahead and add the marshmallow on top and then warm it back up in the oven. And then that'll be it. Two more dishes that I will be making for Thanksgiving to take to my sister's house. I'm making deviled eggs, and here I have 12 eggs boiling, and as you can see, yeah, I guess one of them has already cracked, but okay. And I'll show y'all exactly what I put in that for my deviled eggs. And here I am making garlic mashed potatoes. In this pot I have 5 pounds of potatoes. I have 2 tablespoons of butter. I have some garlic powder and seasoning salt. I usually use like a couple bouillon cubes, but I didn't buy any, so I kind of made my own little flavor because I think that it tastes better when you cook some of the flavors into the potatoes, because sometimes it can be bland or whatever. So anyways, for the deviled eggs, I got some minced onion that I minced up myself. That's a quarter of an onion. I have 1 garlic clove. I will be using Italian dressing, mayo, mustard, relish, celery seeds, and paprika. And that's what's going to go into my mixture for my deviled eggs. So when everything gets done, I get ready to start mixing and doing everything. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back, y'all. The potatoes are still cooking, and I am almost done with the eggs. I went ahead and cut everything in half, and then the yolk I put in here, and it's with the 1/4 of the onion and the really small garlic clove so far. So I'm gonna go ahead and start mixing my stuff in. Unfortunately, I don't measure, so everything's kind of like eyeballing, because you want it to be like a a really thick, creamy consistency. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get started with that. Here we go. First thing I'm gonna do is get a fork and just kind of smash the yolk. And I'm mixing in the onion and the garlic, the minced garlic with it. And my nose is running because the onions, man, they had me tearing up really bad. Alright, next we're going to add the mayo. It's almost kind of like you making tuna fish, you know what I mean? Kind of pretty much like that. You know how you want the tuna fish to be creamy? That's basically how you want this to be. You know, try that first. See what the consistency is like, because that's pretty much making the consistency for you. That is definitely enough. Next, I'm going to add the Italian dressing. And I like this because it gives it like a little zing. You know what I mean? A little twang. A little something, something. And you only want a dash of that. You don't want a whole lot. You don't want it to overpower your deviled eggs. You shake it up. That's it. Just a squirt. Next thing you want to add is mustard. What the? This just got all over my shirt. You only want a tad bit of the mustard as well. That adds a little color and a little zing as well. Just a different kind of zing. At this point, I'm going to start using a spoon. Next, we're going to add the sweet relish. You only want a tinge of that. You don't want too much. Probably a tad bit more. Like I said, this is eyeballed, so I couldn't even tell you how much. Like, if you already know how to make deviled eggs, that's cool. And then if you want to use a little bit of my recipe, you know, just tweak it. Dash of garlic powder. Dash of seasoning salt. Dash of celery with 2 small dashes of celery seed. Dash of paprika. 2 dashes, sorry. And you want to mix. Now that everything is mixed up the way it's supposed to be, you want to go and fill up your egg halves. After you fill up your egg halves, just put a dash of paprika on each one. Alright, the potatoes are done cooking, and they are now fork tender. So what you want to do now is pour it in your bowl. My retarded self, like, I just moved in, so I don't have a lot of utensils, and I totally forgot to get a masher. So looks like I'm gonna have fun mashing this with my fork. I leave the skin on, and I cut mine kind of big because I like for it to have like some chunk to it. And I like the skin. It gives it a good flavor, and it's more nutritious too, the skin. And I had went to a I don't know if it was Texas Roadhouse, some steak place. Maybe it was, no, I'm wondering if it was the Cheesecake Factory. But yeah, I was somewhere, and they had the skin on, and it just tastes so good. So I was like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Alright, first thing I'm gonna do is add some milk, so I can get this thing kind of creamy like. Well, not too creamy, because I still want a little chunk to mine. And I eyeball it again. Like I said before, I'm not a cook. I like to cook, but start out with that much first and see. As you can see, that did nothing, so let's pour a little more milk. This should do it. I don't know if I told you, but I do have 5 garlic cloves in here. Now for the butter, I have 2 tablespoons of butter that I'm about to whip into here. Put more butter, but we'll see, depending on how it tastes. I should have found those garlic cloves first and make sure I smash those down really good, because I don't want nobody to get a big old chunk of garlic while they're eating. Next, I'm going to add some garlic powder. You don't want to like overpower it, but you want to let people know it is garlic mashed potatoes. And I'm also going to add some seasoning salt just over the top and mix it in. You don't want it to be too salty. And I may even mix some more milk. Try some of this out, see what it tastes like. Perfect. Now I am making the gravy. I'll be using a gravy mix because I didn't make any meat, and so I don't really have anything to kind of pull the flavor off of. I'm using French's brown gravy mix, and in this pot I have 2 cloves of minced garlic, and then probably about about a half a cup of onion, probably a little smaller than a half a cup, and then 2 tablespoons of butter. So I'm browning that right now. Once I get that cooked down, I'll be back. It's starting to cook down, and I went ahead and put about 2 shakes of seasoning salt, garlic powder, and then pepper in here just for some flavor, because sometimes those packs just don't have it. So after this gets kind of soft, I'm going to go ahead and add the gravy mix. It just calls for 1 cup of water. I got 2 packs. I'm going to use 2 cups. I'm actually going to use 2.5 cups of water because I don't like gravy too thick. I never follow directions. Don't judge me. I'll be back. Alright, I went ahead and added both packets of the gravy mix and 2.5 cups of water. And it's been cooking for probably about 8 minutes. It's almost done. It's thick now. So I'm about to go ahead and just take this off and put it in like a little Tupperware container to take to my sister's house tomorrow. So anyway, thanks for cooking with me. We'll be coming back with more stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Bye.